I'm here with two Brent residents, Dada of Palestinian heritage and Jonathan of Jewish heritage, on behalf of Brent and Harrow Palestine Solidarity Campaign and 2,000 residents of all faiths and backgrounds who signed our petition in just 3 weeks, as the 1,210 were paper signatures, and we also had around 773, I think, online. We asked Brent Council to stand on the right side of history and follow their legal responsibilities in joining the growing number of councils, public bodies and institutions divesting for Palestine. Israel's genocidal assault on Palestinians in the Gaza Strip has killed tens of thousands of Palestinians, almost half of them children, and an article authored in medical journal The Lancet estimated that the number could reach as high as 186,000. 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced, many multiple times. Nowhere in Gaza is safe. Entire residential neighbourhoods have been levelled, UN schools sheltering the displaced, and hospitals treating the wounded have been repeatedly targeted. Palestinians in Gaza are facing famine due to Israel's blockade and its targeting of life-sustaining infrastructure. This is on top of Israel's illegal settlements in the West Bank, illegal 17-year siege of Gaza, and 76 years of occupation and oppression against the Palestinians. We all have a responsibility to stand with Palestinians and to do everything in our power to bring such suffering to an end. This is not just a moral obligation, but a legal one. In January 2024, an interim ruling by the International Court of Justice, the World Court, affirmed there is plausible evidence Israel is committing genocidal acts against the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip. As a state party to the Genocide Convention, the UK has a binding obligation to employ all means reasonably available to prevent and deter further genocidal acts. In June, UN experts issued a statement demanding that both states and companies stop all arms transfers to Israel, saying that financial institutions such as banks and pension funds investing in arms companies supplying Israel must cease, and that their failure could move them from being directly linked to human rights abuses to repercussions for complicity. In July, the International Court of Justice confirmed that Israel's occupation of Palestinian land and treatment of Palestinians is illegal and amounts to systematic discrimination on racial and ethnic grounds, i.e. apartheid. It stated that countries and bodies must not assist Israel in maintaining it. And yesterday, the UN General Assembly echoed the International Court of Justice and overwhelmingly passed a resolution demanding that Israel brings to an end without delay its unlawful presence in the occupied Palestinian territory, and to do so within 12 months. It is therefore clear that Brent Council has a legal responsibility to act now in order to avoid complicity. This petition calls on Brent Council, 1, to divest all funds administered by the Council, including local government pension scheme funds, from companies complicit in Israel's genocide and apartheid against Palestinians. This includes arms companies supplying Israel with weapons and military technology, companies providing infrastructure for Israel's unlawful military occupation of Palestinian land, and companies conducting business activity in Israel's illegal settlements on stolen Palestinian land. 2, to use its influence as part of the London collective investment vehicle to publicly lobby it to divest from companies enabling Israel's human rights abuses. And 3, to commit to end procurement contracts with companies complicit in Israel's attacks. Waltham Forest Council has already committed to divest. 2 other London councils are hearing divestment petitions this very evening, and many more campaigns are happening across the country. Brent prides itself on being one of the most diverse boroughs in London and for standing against racism, including opposing apartheid in South Africa. Brent may not be the first council to divest, but we have the opportunity to be among the first rather than the last, and to show that Brent lives its values of equality, diversity and justice. We request to meet with the Pensions Committee following this meeting, and that a commitment to divest is made as quickly as possible due to the urgency of the situation, and no later than the November Council meeting. And we would like to leave you with these words from poet Bex Thomas. Years from now, when your child asks, "What did you do?" will you tell them, "I looked away," or will you tell them, "I listened, I heard, I helped, I bore witness, used my power, used my privilege"? Thank you. Thank you.